Hello everybody, welcome to this live with Prima. It's Tuesday the 10th of June and it's 8 o'clock in Stockholm where I'm broadcasting from. My name is Eila. It rhymes with Layla, just like Eric Clapton's song. So it's Eila Sandberg. And I'm the lucky duck. I'm the guest designer for Prima in June. So I'm absolutely thrilled to bits to be asked to do this show. It's a first for me. So pardon me if I forget things or my mind just goes blank. And I know you're the best crowd out there. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. Thank you. So I'll show you what we will be creating this evening. I'll pan down a bit. We are going to make a page based on free spirit and seashore. So I'll start with showing you the products that I have used. So I put this on the side a bit, and no, sorry, doesn't work there. Let's start with the papers. And I've got a very small desk, so I'll be hunting for stuff while we go. So I've used the Free Spirit collection kit, and it's got the most glorious colors, as you know, fresh, summery, and I love that it's that also the collection kit has papers, patterns on both sides, and they come off so easily now with a new thingy. You don't know what to call it, but they're perforated and you just rip them off without any problems whatsoever. Oh, it went out of focus. What happened there? Sorry. And some more of these lovelies. Oh, what's happening? Oh, sorry guys, I have to do it this way. So you've seen these papers before, I'm sure, but it's punning back and forward. But they are absolutely delicious. I just love these bright summer colors. And I'll show you the papers that I'll be using from the Free Spirit line. So we've got this one, and I've already cut it a bit, and we'll be using the back with a Ditsy print as well. So I'll put that aside, and we will be using the green one. Where have you gone to? There. So we will be using this green one, and also the back. So the green and the back. Those are the two from the Free Spirit. And then we got Seashore. And I've used my Seashore collection kit so much that all the pages, you see this? I've used all the pages so much that it sort of falls into pieces. But it is absolutely glorious. I love this range. And we will be using this paper. My gosh. What is happening? It's not punning. Hello. There. Okay. So we'll be using this paper as well. And I'll put this one aside. You've got all the item numbers listed on the Prima blog. I haven't got them for the collection kits. We will also be using the Free Spirit ATC cards, the 4x6. I love them. These are absolutely delicious, and they're so good for matting or for using just for layering. And I will be using I will be using 2 of these under my photo. Come on, where are you, babies? At the back, I suppose. So then I'll flip through everything. Will come, yeah. So I'll use the polka dot, and I will use the Dixie floral one as well. So these 2 from the Free Spirit range. I also used originally one of the ATC cards from the Seashore, and I cut it from this piece of paper. See this bit here. It's this. Can you see? It looks like this. And I didn't have a second paper because I had used it already. So I cut out an equivalent form, like an ATC card, from this paper. So you could say I used this bit. So it looks like one of these ATC cards. So that's for papers and ATC cards. I also used flowers. Of course, flowers. Got to have flowers. And I've been told so many times that it doesn't take any creativity to stick down flowers on a piece of paper. But you see, flowers to me are not just flowers. I look at their shape, their texture. I even look at how the stamens lie. I look at the petals, and different flowers speak to me. So when I create, I'm very sort of touchy, and I like to put things next to each other to see that I get harmony. So I can fiddle for quite a while before I decide which way to put my flowers. So to the products, I've used these seaweed flowers, and they have product number 574949. And then I used the leaves. Just love these leaves. And I used the green ones, these lime green ones. They're from the Free Spirit range. They've got item number 574253. And of course some more flowers. I used this flower, and these outer side flowers have item number 574239. More flowers. I like mixing collections, and that's what I find so fantastic with Prima's products. You can use old collections, you can use them together with new ones, you can mix any collections because they practically go together. So just imagine these stationer's desk typewriter blooms. It is a glare, but I use these blue flowers, so I'll be picking out these blue flowers, and they've got item number 575427, typewriter roses. Then I also use flare buttons, so both from the Free Spirit line. I use this one, and it has got item number 572679. More flower buttons, this time from Seashore collection. Aren't they just delicious? Just love them. And I use this little one, this blue one. And these flare buttons have item number 572723. And even more goodies from the Seashore line, the paper clips. Just look at these little babies. Don't you just love them? They got item number 573089. So I'll start pulling out the stuff soon. I've got some more babies for you. Have to pull them out from the pile. I've got from the Time Travelers, the wood embellishments. All of the wood icons are absolutely to die for. And on this one, I've used this little pointy finger down there. And the item number for this one is 57286. Ingvild Bolme has the most fantastic embellishments, all metals and resins and you know what, everything for your scrapping. And I used one of her junkyard findings, one of these signs down there at my place, and I got to keep this together because it falls out. Yeah, so this one's got item number 892166. Then I've got my all-time favorites. I've restocked. Well, I have to say I've used up about 10 packs of these crystals. These absolutely yummy, yummy, yummy crystals, seashore crystals, any crystals. I've got a whole drawer full of these crystals. Easy peasy, absolutely fabulous. And they got item number 573201. Then I got something old. It's a flourish. It's also, oh, the glare is really, really, really bad. But it's silver and pearls. So it's so old, I don't know if it's still available, but it's got item number 126175. And let me see, have we got, yes, of course, the best. Let's start. I almost forgot this, the Finnabair doily stamp. It looks a mess. I haven't got the item number because I always pull them out. And I've got the Ingvild Bolme chalk edges. I've got them in farmer's jeans and worn jeans. You see them there. Lovely darker blue and more greyish blue. And this one is not on the product list because I just figured it out the other day, so I'll try out something different today, add on a little bit. I am also going to use the Cadillacs of this collection. I'll be using color bloom sprays, lots of them. So I've got lime wedge, I've got the soft teal, put them there. Then I've got the sorbet, beautiful summery citrus color. I've got gold foil, and it's no wonder it's Sharon Larkinen's favorite color. I mean, this is to die for. You could have bottles upon bottles of it. I also like Storm Cloud, which is like a matte grayish, steelish, but not too dark. It hasn't got any coal in it. It's just very sort of cloudy. So Storm Cloud, one of my faves too. And Gilded, more orangey golden tone. And sorry for coughing. And then Cobalt. I mean, just look at that blue. So we've got a whole palette of colors here of yummy yumminess. So I'll put these back and put them aside. And what else have we got? Well, we have I don't know what to call this. Is it some kind of mesh? Perhaps yeah, you can see it better down. It's some kind of cobweb mesh. And don't we all have a box stashed away, rather dusty, with all sorts of bits and pieces of trims and ribbons and lace? And I found this in my box, and honestly, I don't know where I got it from. But if you got something similar, cobweb, lace, cheesecloth, anything that you can sort of pull apart and add some interesting texture into your cluster, that would work just fine. And if you have something that's cream or white, well then lime wedge, that's the answer for you. You just color it. You get it any color you like. So putting that aside, and yeah, I was also going to try out something different, just seeing if it works. And this is not on the product list because I figured it out today. The crochet icons. I mean, that's a girl's staple. You've got to have the crochet icons. Just look at these little darlings. And they've got item number 573683. Told you I had a brain that is empty. I'm sorry, Carrie. I think you all have already discovered the one and only fabulous Carrie. I'm sorry. Carrie will be moderating, answering all the questions because I'm too busy forgetting everything. So, sorry, Carrie. Sorry. I've also used chipboards. The Free Spirit chipboards. And I'll be using the Wonder, the name. I'll be using this itty bitty yellow flower, and there's a blue one, and I'll be using this piece down here, and of course the banner that is up here. And the product number for the chipboard is 573645. And finally, before we get going, we have the tulip stencil. And I won't be using the words or the tulip itself. I'll be using these little fabulous fun textural thingies together with heavy modeling paste. So I think I've covered everything. No, one more thing. The little sparrow's nest. I had one odd piece loose. So what I did was I took the ones that aren't colored. They are, they are white, and they have product number 552886. But what I did was I took some Ingrid Goldman fluid chalk edger in cold ice, and just look, it's a perfect match. So if you haven't got the colored ones and you can get hold of the white ones, no worries. You just take some chalk edger and color it in. So let's start creating then. Okay, because my pages are generally quite heavy. I got lots and lots of stuff. Lots of stuff going on. My screen just went blank. That's why I went silent. So I like to use very, very thin. I mean, can you see how thin that is? 2-3 millimeters thick canvas. Because I need a sturdy background. And of course you can use white cardstock as well if you like, but I like this canvas. So I've prepped a bit. So what I start with, if I show you the original here, I have to show you a bit closer. There. So the edge. I don't normally stick down my papers all the way out to the edge. I like to keep them sort of loose and get the lumpy bumpy feel that I have. But today, as we are going to use masking and modeling paste, it has to stick flat. So I stuck all the papers very properly down out to the edge here. And I started with this green from the Free Spirit line. So what I did was, and I never use rulers, I just eyeball everything. You see, it goes over it. And then I sort of, sorry, now this has been cut into, that's why it's smaller. So then I sort of just eyeball and see, okay, how much of the outer paper do I want to show? So I wanted about, I'd guess, roughly a centimeter, less than half an inch. Don't know how much that is because I never measure it. So about this size. So what I do is, and I'm rather rough-handed, I don't really matter fancy-pantsy. I take my scissors and I just cut out a frame. You see, it's very roughly cut. And the inside of this paper, what happens? I'm really sorry. It's not focusing. There, okay. So you see, I roughly cut the frame with scissors. No measuring, I just eyeballed it. And this empty bit in the middle, this is really weird. I'm really, really, really sorry. I don't know what's happened. Okay, now let me see if I move this a bit, if it, yeah. Hey you. It's a bit touchy here. This didn't happen when we try this out. Hello, camera. Ah, okay, you're back. Thank you. So I use this bit in the middle, and if I take the whole paper, you see it's the grey one with the flowers. So we'll be using that middle bit there. But I'll glue down the frame. So just go around the edges, not too much around the middle. And I just plop down that frame. And to get everything smooth, I sometimes also use, and I said my desk is very small, there it is, I use a brayer. If I use glue or if I use matte gel, I use a brayer. Just to squish out all the bubbles, the air bubbles, and the glue properly out to the edges. There. I'll put that aside too. And then the next layer is this blue, also from this Free Spirit. And I did the same thing with it. I cut a frame and I eyeballed this as well, and there is, I don't know if the pattern goes in a specific way, but I just cut it out. And I did the same with this. I put on some glue. Not particularly fancy And then I put it on the green frame, moved it around a bit to see sort of even, and out came the brayer again. So glue and brayer, and I want it to stick down properly around the edges because of the masking. Okay, I see I didn't use enough glue on this side. It's okay. It's still okay. And you see also the center of this one is the ditzy paper. The ditzy paper. And we'll be using that one too. So I'll put it on the side. And the last paper layer is this diamond pattern from the seashore line. And I did the same with that one. But I didn't cut this piece. So I'll just eyeball. And how much do I want to have? Okay, this is upside down. Sorry. I just eyeballed. Take my scissors just to see, mark where I want it to go. Not too particular about that either. It will look good anyway. Cut off a little snippet there. And then I take my paper cutter. Cut off from one side. And do it on the other side as well. So it goes all square. And we won't be needing more paper now, so I can, oops, glue this down properly in the middle as well. So more glue. And on canvas, if you're using canvas, I find the matte gel better if you have stuff that you want to stick to it. But this is only going to be like paper thingies, embellishments. Eyeballing out again, evening out with my hands just a bit, and then out with a brayer. This one is playing tricks with me. Come on, okay, you need some more glue around the edges. Okay, more glue. And I think we need some more glue this way too. Okay, oops, told you. There's a reason why I have an apron too. I'm a really, really messy scrapper. I even eat breakfast with my apron on, because if I don't, I'll end up with a splat of butter or jam just in front of my shirt. And as a scrapper, I bet I get glue, I get sprays, I get all sorts of stuff. So now we've got our base all ready. I'll just zap it really, really, really quickly. And my heat gun is horrible, absolutely horrible. So I'll be quick about it, very quick. And I know this is nothing exciting, so we'll just do it very, very quickly. Just a little bit. And this also makes it obvious where the glue hasn't stuck properly, and I need that to do for the masking. So I have to add just an itty bitty around here. Just a bit. Okay. Okay, so I'll be quick about this then. The masking. We'll do some quickie heavy modeling paste. And because we will cover up the whole thing in the middle, we'll just work around the edges. So keeping on the blue, I'll just not particularly fancy. Just take a bit, yeah, a bit of that, and I'll take a little bit, why not there, and a little bit here on this side as well. And then when you got your page finished, you can add on anything you like on it. This was not meant to happen. Okay, I'll dry that one bit off and then we'll start colouring. Quickly. Very quickly. And I think you could add a little bit. You could add a little bit more here when you got the time, and there is a little bit too little. But I'll just show you the guide with it. And what we'll do after that is to colour. Use the colour bloom spray in sorbet to colour it out. But before we do that, come to think of it, we will use the stamp. And I don't care very much about using stamps that come off clear. So okay, on the original one, I used the Farmer's Jeans, and I thought it came through too dark, so I used dry brush gesso on it. And the other day I experimented, so I used Farmer's Jeans on a piece here, and then I put the worn jeans on top just to tone it down a bit, and I thought it made a really wonderful effect. So let's see what it looks like. Let's put just a bit. Oh, a bit down there, and perhaps in the corner, because remember we won't see much at all. Yeah, not too bad. I'll use a little bit of the dry gesso. If I can find my gesso. Okay, sorry about stepping outside of the frame, but you know what to do with dry gesso. So just a bit. Oh, that's too much. Just a bit. Just to tone down it, just an inkling. A little bit. And you can continue alongside the edges if you like afterwards. That's what I do. I normally work on a couple of pages at the same time because I take forever to decide what to put on. So I'll leave my pages until next day. And yeah, a little bit here too. And then I move something again. So I change my mind. I never do a page from start to finish in one go. There we got the gesso. And now we're going to colour. So I'm using the sorbet as a watercolour. So I've got a glass of water with a very soft brush. So it's got a very soft tip, a rounded one. And I take the sorbet, and with the colour bloom, you just rattle them, shake them real good, there's a marble in them. And the trick then is to tap the nozzle. Sorry, that was an accident. Yeah, you see what I do all the time. But it will end up under, so it doesn't matter a bit. So just shake the water, the color bloom a bit. And I take some water. And then I use the color blooms as watercolors. So just tint these bits that I just masked. Water and some color bloom. Just very lightly brushing over. And if you want to have more color, you just dip a little bit more into the bottle. Just take all these little bitties and color them with a brush. Just a bit and a bit more. Water and some color. And I think it gives just a little pop of sunshine. Just a little bit of structure. And then I'll zap this with a heat gun. There. So that's it. And we'll just set this a bit because I don't want to end up with my elbow on it. Okay, is that that? So time for the matting. You see these things showing up, and it's like a basket weave, because this takes forever, and I'm not a patient scrapper. I've prepared a bit, and I'll just show you. Oops a daisy, that was my heat gun. You see the basket weave. I've prepared strips because I've said we'd use the central bits of this paper, and I've used the back for these strips. So I cut 8 of the ditzy ones, and then I used the grey back of this green. So what I did was I used the same method. I used the color blooms, the lime wedge, the soft teal, the cobalt, and the gilded. Because I've cut the strips, this one is smaller, but you see I colored here around the edges because there's no use coloring in the middle because you'll be covering everything with your matting and your photo. So color just as you like. Use the same thing as I just showed you. You ruffle, you shake the bottle, you tap the nozzle off with the sediments, and you don't spill this time. Take some water and dip, and then just color. Oh, that came off a bit too strong. And you just color it. A little bit more, and you get the idea. So you use whichever color you like, but I use mainly these four absolutely beautiful ones. So strips cut, beautiful strips, and basket weave. And because we are a little bit too slow, being scolded by Carrie, I'll get better. Then I'll just show you the matting, and you can use these are a little bit too long, so I'll just cut them off a wee bit. And I'm not too particular if something is a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. There. So I'll leave the idea here. We won't be finishing it the way I have the finished product because I'm too slow. So we got the basket we've colored with the color blooms, and the trickiest bit is the first of these strips, because everything gets wonky, so you have to glue them in spots, in places here, to keep everything in place. And once you start weaving, it really goes smoothly. So I'll just show you one of these strips, and it keeps in place because you've got the structure already. And just glue it, you see, just like that. So I'll just put this and show you the next one. So I showed you the matting, the ATC cards, the one that I had cut out, but I had also used this one, the blue one, and it was the centerpiece. So I cut it down, I just eyeballed it again just to see how much I could cover, and then I just evened out the edges to get sort of straight-ish. So you just cut off, make it a bit more straight, then eyeball again, and I used a corner rounder to get a nice shape. So let me see. Oh, it's too big. I need to cut it down quite a bit. There. Okay. You see. Oh, a bit too long. So this is what happens when you just eyeball stuff. Yeah, kind of. And then the corner rounder, just to make a little bit of interest. So put this in place just to stop it from moving about. And you see, you can add stuff a little bit there just to make it interesting afterwards. And I will put this in place too. I normally use quite a lot of foam tape. I like foam tape. I'm just like Frank. I like my foam tape. I'll raise this matting just a bit, not too much, but still to get some structure here. And I'm pulling off the backing paper. And it's so much easier, I find, to use foam tape, because the foam squares, I mean, it takes like a million of them to cover my pages. So there. So we've got the background, we've got the modeling paste, the stenciling, we've coloured these. It all looks a bit wonky, admittedly. Sorry about that. Then we have the matting. So, there. So this is the one that we just glued down. Then we have the polka dot and the more auburn one and the Dixie print. So I'll just layer polka dot, the auburn one, just a bit of tiling, and then I've lost my photo. Where on earth? Isn't this typical? It always happens. What happened? Where? There. Sorry. I normally don't use a photo as the starting point, but this one had this luscious green and the sky and the water. And this green is something very typical of my favorite country, that's England. This lady is a most beautiful one. So hello Melvin, if you're checking out this alley, here's to you. So layering the A to C cards, taking that photo and sort of eyeballing and seeing if it fits. I think this gets a little bit bigger than I used before, but okay, let's go with that. Then I need some double-sided tape. And I always just stick down stuff in the middle to begin with before I have, I'm sorry, I have to move this. My tape is giving up on me. So before I have decided how to, then I add on more glue or tape or foam tape. There. Okay, so remember this one should have been a lot smaller. I'm really sorry about that. So gluing that in place. And also just gluing in the middle because I'll be sticking stuff. I'll be sticking down stuff. So now let's start the decorating. And the flowers, I used, this is the empty brainer again, I used Latila canvas blooms. They're creamy canvas with product number 571108. And I pre-misted it in the sorbet, and a little bit of the gold foil, just to get this sort of little, not too bright orangey, but still a punch. So I'll do that with this one and zap it really quick, but it will be rather wet. I'm taking this off camera a bit, not to spray everything inside. And I'll do this really quickly, and I'll zap it too. So drying this, and then you'll see what it looks like when it is dry. All different. I will be using the flourish as a base for everything that I stick down. Oh, this is quite a bit wet. It's still wet. I'll place it out. And the flourish, I never pull off these little beauties because I'm very rough-handed and they never come off in one piece. Carrie, I'm sorry, you're absolutely brilliant at doing that. Yours look just fabulous. Mine look like little, I don't know what. So what I do is I cut them out. I leave them on the protective plastic and I cut out the shape, because when I do that I can move around my flourish until I'm happy, because not always am I'm not sure where I want to have it or which way or how much should be sticking out in any direction. So I cut out the flourish and then I just glue it in place. So the base for the left cluster here is this flourish, and I'll be putting a seaweed flower, typewriter, Latila, the itty bitty chipboard, some lovely green leaves, some of that mesh, a flare button, and the little bird's nest. That's what I use on the left hand side. So I'll start with the flourish, sort of eyeballing too. I want to have it showing, and on my original layout I used grey seaweed blooms, but on this one I think I will be using the creamy beige ones, just for interest, just to change a bit. So using one there, using one there as a base. Then I took my Latila, and then the typewriter roses, the blue typewriter roses. Beautiful, beautiful blue. So there's one, and there's the other one. And I put it a little bit like this, and there as well. So I'm just putting out stuff here. On my original layout, I also used these grey Dance Frost roses, the grey ones. Unfortunately, I couldn't find more in my stash. Don't know where I put them. So what I did was I took some white Lamia flowers, Lamia roses, and they are, or any white roses or flowers that you like. The product number is 571498, and I'll just show you. I misted some of them in the storm cloud, so that's what I'll place out here. Storm cloud, and a bitty one there. And then I use the leaves. Where are you, little babies? I am really late, so I won't be able to stick down stuff. I'll just show you where I put them. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm not. Goodness, this little thing is there, and some more green leaves. There under, just to indicate where I put them. And I'm really sorry it doesn't go my way today. Then I use the outer sight flowers, a little one with a banner and a hello and happy and smile. This cute little thing here. And I put it there. Then I used the flare, the Tree Spirit flare. Beautiful, beautiful flares. This one, the lovely. And I put it there, about it. It all looks wonky, but you get the idea. And I had a little bird's nest to cover it up there. So that was one flare, and then I used the paper clips. I used paper clips from the seashore line. These. So I used the, which one is this? I used this one, and I used this one. So just remember, don't stick down your matting all the way, because then you won't be able to put your paper clips. Yeah. You also got the flares from the seashore, and I paired it with some chipwood. Remember, I paired it with this one, and I put it on this one. So this grey on top of this, oh, I'm sorry, this little grey one on top of this one, and then the flare. But today I think I'll try with one of the crochet icons instead that I showed you earlier. Make for a little bit of interest, and because I'm using the beige seaweed, I was thinking of either this one or this one with a butterfly. So let me see. Yeah, that's cute. Oh, this is a mess. Sorry guys. We have the chipboard, the banner, and I'll really quickly, so I can get this package up. Sometimes they are very, I haven't got many minutes left. So we've got the banner, and I'm just popping them out. Popping out this little thingy. Okay, I'll just place it so that you can see where it goes. And then we got the word wonder. The word wonder. It just goes on top. And the banner goes that way. And it looks wonky, really wonky. And I'm really sorry about that. We got the Ingrid Bollner plate, my place, and it should go very nicely, but because of the flowers are not stuck down, everything moves. My place. And the little hand, remember the hand I showed you, the wood icon, and I originally colored it with Ingrid Bollner chalk edger in tin can in grey. So the hand was colored in grey, and I'll show you that from the original. So we got the seaweed, we got the rose, we got the latila, we got the little itty bitty chipboard, the flare and the bird's nest, the banner, the word wonder, we got the hand, and we got the plaque. And up here, instead of these two chippies and the flare, I used one of these crochet icons. We've got two of the paper clips up there, and we've got the cobweb thingy and the alpha letters. And letters I use to stick down with matte gel. I like matte gel because they move around. So I use a little bit at the back, and then I cover them in matte gel very gently, not a lot. And then all the beautiful, beautiful crystals. And that is what my wonky page should have looked like. And that's, yeah, you're so kind. Thank you. Thank you. And we got 1 minute to go. Any questions? Thank you so much. You are, I said that before, you are the best. You are the best. And now I've learned to, I mean, Carrie and Sharon and all of you who are doing this live with Prima. I'll move up this so you can see my sweaty red face. So Carrie and Sharon And all of you who are doing this live with Prima, kudos to you. I mean, this is fast work and I couldn't keep up with it. I'm sorry to you guys. I hope you got an idea of what it was supposed to be like and a little bit of ideas. And I'm forever grateful to you. Thank you so much for coming and for watching. Thank you. Ah, merci Corinne. Bisous. Hey Corinne, Pat, and Karen. Thank you. And Ali. Oh, you're just amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we are 1 minute over time. And if you have any questions, just shoot. If not, I'll say thank you, goodbye, and God bless you. So, okay, guys, bye. Thank you.